unparalleled customer service. Outsource your stress to us. Call me today at 766-1400. At Battleborn, your battle is our fight.
Time to level up with the all-new Terribles Plus Rewards app. Why would you settle for one of those ordinary rewards programs? Terribles Plus rewards you on every routine purchase at the pump and in-store. But we also offer promotions like Game Day Giveaway, Terribles Tuesday, and Shop, Spin, and Win. So download the all-new Terribles Plus Rewards app and get your routine purchases rewarded deliberately different. Terribles Plus Rewards is available on Google Play and the iPhone App Store. Visit Terribles.com for details.
Hey, Las Vegas, the San Gennaro Feast. Everyone loves Italian food and music, so come experience a love affair with Italy. September 17th to the 21st at the M Resort on South Las Vegas Boulevard. This is truly the feast of all feasts. Carmen Romano will host live entertainment featuring singers from Sicily and Italy and stars from the Las Vegas Strip. Huge carnival with over 60 amusement rides and games. And don't miss our beer and wine garden. Bring your appetite. If you really love authentic Italian cooking, we only have the best Italian sausage and peppers, linguine and clams, lobster raviolis, arancinis, cannolis, fried calamari, New York zeppelis, meatballs, pizza, and pasta, and more pasta. Don't miss opening night, September 17th. Unlimited ride wristbands for only $20 a person. That's right, only $20 a person. Come and enjoy the biggest and best Italian and international food and music festival in Las Vegas, September 17th through the 21st. We'll see you and your family at the San Gennaro Feast at M Resort. Now that's Italian.
In Vegas, your car faces some tough enemies. Scorching sun, bugs, dirt, and road grime. It dulls and damages your paint. Fight back with ceramic protection from Bob Moses Ceramic Coating. Keep your ride looking sharp and vibrant for years with a brilliant glossy finish that really turns heads. Protect your cars, trucks, motorcycles, and RVs. Don't just take our word for it. Check out the 5-star reviews for Bob Moses Ceramic Coating. Then call 702-600-1128. Mention you heard this ad and get an exclusive VIP discount at Bob Moses Ceramic Coating.
I'm Gary Lawless, and game day just got bigger at Ellis Island Casino. This football season, score big with $45 all-you-can-drink packages, delicious food specials in the front yard, a new massive 52-foot screen at the casino bar, and the all-new Boomers Sportsbook. Sign up for your Boomers mobile account and get up to $250 in bonus bets, plus minus 105 odds on all pro football spreads on every regular season game. Download the Boomers app, then visit Ellis Island Casino or Casino Valley Verde to activate your account. Must be 21. Terms and conditions apply. Bet responsibly.
Summer's here, and with record-breaking temps already happening, your HVAC system's got to be ready to perform. At Simplify Heating and Cooling, we don't just service systems, we prepare them for battle against it. Number 5 is offering a 29-point precision inspection tune-up for $17.75. And because we believe in taking care of our first responders and our veterans, get 20% off all other services. Call Simplify at 702-703-6450 for same-day service. That's 702-703-6450 or online at callsimplify.com.
When someone in our Las Vegas community gets hurt, I take it personally. I know what it feels like to fight for your family, to face medical bills, lost wages, and fear. At Gina Carina and Associates,
we're all good.
We're not just another.
Your voice is on our video, live video, just so you know.
With a story, and I'm a better ending. We fight hard, we fight smart, and we never forget it's your life we have on our hands.
Gina Carina and Associates. Changing lives daily.
Miss a show? Check out lvsportsnetwork.com for everything ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN Las Vegas. Live from the Golden Circle Sportsbook inside the TI, this is Throw the Flag on ESPN Las Vegas.
All right, here we go. Throw the flag. College football kicking off right now. 30 seconds into the 9 o'clock hour. We got a ton of early games. Jared on the scene, running the controls. Jess back on the wheels of steel, as Q Myers calls it. She is at the Findlay Toyota Studios. We're here at Golden Circle Sports Bar. Tremendous spot inside Treasure Island on the strip. Oh, no. We have to pay for parking. No, you don't. Free parking. So you're ahead $25 right out of the gates. I hear all the time, all the other places up and down the strip. Hey, best sports bar in town. $25 cover to get in. So no parking fee at all here. Free parking. You come down the escalator, you walk by the Mystere Theater, and you look for one of the most spectacular sports bars in the country, and that is the Golden Circle Sports Bar. Why? Because Mr. Ruffin has taken his personal memorabilia collection and spread it all over this multiple-room sports bar. We've got 55-plus TVs. We got the STN Sportsbook in here. They're adding more and more kiosks, so if you like to just do that, go to the kiosks. They're open 24/7. And best of all, at least for chubbos like myself, breakfast. So come in, you can get breakfast. By the way, you can get the breakfast here overnights during the week, midnight to 6 a.m. So if you're looking for a breakfast fix near the Strip, Golden Circle's a good spot. But this morning you can chow down on the breakfast sandwich, chicken chilaquiles, breakfast meat lovers quesadilla, and more. Griffin, what's going on, buddy?
Man, I'm just looking around. Treasure Island's Golden Circle Sportsbook and Bar. Can't help but appreciate the fact that I'm seeing a lot of Chicago Bears jerseys up on these walls, Steve. I feel
make you feel good or bad?
Safe.
Makes you feel safe.
Yeah. It's football season. It's a dangerous time to be going around. You don't know what group of people you might run into.
What do we got around us? Marcus Allen, that's a good one. Troy Polamalu. I know there's some Butkus stuff. Is that Michael Singletary over there?
Oh, it absolutely is.
All right. And by the way, if you're listening and you get to the spot where you want to, and you can watch us, we're trying some live video this morning here at Treasure Island and Golden Circle. All right, so games are going to kick off. We've got the Nebraska game in front of us, not one of the biggest games, but all the other games are up here. So early games, and we'll get you a preview of these early games with some handicapping tips. Some of our sports betting experts will be in, like Sam Panayotovich, Scott Seidenberg, College Football Insider. Michael Felder is coming up in just a little bit to preview the games throughout the day. So the morning slate and the lines, Griffin, we've got Memphis at Troy, which, on paper you'd be like, well, Troy's easy. Memphis, powerhouse in the American. Troy is, check that, Memphis is absolutely competing with the rest of its conference and places like the Mountain West Conference to try to be that CFP bid winner in the college football playoff. Memphis only 4 on the road. This came from 6.5 down to 4, so that one's kicking off. Oklahoma, sandwich spot, -24 at Temple. Oregon, Northwestern. I don't think Northwestern is good. Are they stout enough to slow down Oregon at all? It was 69-3, Oregon over Oklahoma State. The total in that one is only 50, so that tells you a lot with a 24.5-point spread. And then I'll go through the rest of the games in a little bit. We'll have scores throughout the show, but some of the big games are Clemson and Georgia Tech kicking off here in a second. It is now Clemson -3 even. Total is 50.5. And Wisconsin, wow, this one came way down. Alabama's 18 now against Wisconsin.
It's interesting. It's interesting how the lines are going right before everything gets going and kicks off. That Clemson Georgia Tech, you said an even 3 for that one?
-3, even on the side.
See now, once we get going and we start breaking down that game, that's going to be interesting. But yeah, it's exciting. There's it's only week 3, but there's still a ton of implications on the line for a lot of teams, especially the ones who came out the gate real struggling this college football season, Steve.
Let's talk about struggles last night with some of the finals. It was actually a very entertaining night of Friday college football. First of all, I think we should start with UCLA.
I like that.
I didn't see the last touchdown get tacked on. I said the hell with it. 35-10, New Mexico beats UCLA. So I got to tell you, from a rep standpoint and a kind of scoring points in polls, UNLV's win over UCLA doesn't look as good. They won theirs 30-23. They were up 23-3. They were up 30-13. I mean, New Mexico absolutely laid it on UCLA, and the 35-10 is not a fluke. The total yards in this one, New Mexico ran for almost 300 yards on the ground against a Big Ten Power 4 team. 450 to 326 total yards.
Man, I was watching this game, Steve, and I couldn't help but think about what's going to be the narrative once this one's over. And right away, you look at social media, everyone's taking their shots at Nico. Nico, I am my Levo. Yes, they are taking shots at him.
Let's go with Nico the rest of the show.
Absolutely. Nico is taking the blunt of it. Everyone going in, taking their shots, making fun of him, saying you shot your shot and you missed because you decided to leave a team, an SEC team in Tennessee Volunteers, to go to UCLA. Obviously, there was an NIL money component of that situation. But watching the game last night, I don't want to put it on Nico because I don't think it's right. I didn't see that team last night struggle and think that the quarterback was the issue. I was watching that team and I thought the coaching staff is the issue. Deshaun Foster, head coach, in his second year with the Bruins, who is he's a legend with UCLA. His staff just doesn't look organized, Steve. The offense ran by offensive coordinator Tino Sunseri. They just look unorganized. It was a very 7-on-7 spread out and forced Nico to basically be the hero of the game if he could be. And unfortunately for Nico, he couldn't. So we're going to see, if maybe they can find their footing with this offense. But right now, I don't like what I'm seeing.
They're a poorly coached team. They had 14 penalties against UNLV. They bounced back last night with 13. And if you were watching the game, it seemed like more than 13. And a lot of them were simple motion on offense, offsides. I mean, it was just completely undisciplined football. And, yeah, Deshaun Foster's in trouble. I thought after the UNLV game, maybe they could win 5 or 6 games. I'm not sure they can get there. It's a bad look right now for UCLA. Bad look in Colorado. Deion Sanders tried his third stringer in Staub. He played okay. Best thing about Deion is he went right into the press conference and blamed Staub, which drives me nuts. He's the guy who came in, and this will stick with me forever. If I were a player, I would never go to Colorado because I think there's no loyalty at all. When Deion walked in, he's like, everyone better get their Louis ready. Like, okay, there's guys here who helped build the program. When you walked in 3 years ago, you may want to actually talk to him and not threaten him, but that's what he did. And frankly, when you watch last night's game and they wound up losing to Colorado, to Houston, 36-20, there was a clear talent deficit. There was a talent gap. Willie Fritz is trying to build things at Houston. I think he's done a pretty good job. He nailed the quarterback. He's got a big upgrade in Connor Wigman. But Deion, for all this bluster about how well he was going to do in the transfer portal, frankly, the last 3 years, I'll point to UNLV, Barry Odom kicked his ass back-to-back years, and Dan Mullen whooped him in the transfer portal. They just don't have the talent, and they went on the road. They didn't look super competitive at times. Another team that looked undisciplined. Another team, and here's another guy who's a big star in the offseason talking a lot of trash. Warren Sapp's defensive line ain't good. They're still not stout. And we knew that Colorado needed to fix things in the trenches. It's the third season. Where are the players? So they got beat up pretty good. And then I was on Kansas State last night, but, man, Avery Young is struggling. The Arizona defense is pretty good, and the best thing about the Arizona defense, and really the K-State D, is they did not put their destinies in the hands of their offenses. Both attacked, especially from the middle of the third quarter on. You would have loved this, or you probably loved it if you watched it, Griffin, as a former defensive player at Utah and Cal Poly. They brought the house on both sides, and frankly, Arizona just did it better. Avery Young dealt with it poorer than Noah Fafita, and Arizona gets a really big statement win. K-State might be a 5-win team, but at this point in the season, that was a nice answer for Arizona and Brent Brennan, who a lot of people are like, hey, he needs to go. They stink.
Yeah, looks like Arizona might be trying to replicate what ASU was able to do last year, kind of be that, Cinderella under the radar team at Arizona. You look at the quarterback Noah, he is in this season, I believe he hasn't thrown a single pick, Steve. He has actually improved. Back in 2024, he threw 18 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. In 2023, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So it looks like he's trending more towards that 2023 season. They've looked good. He's played disciplined football. Hasn't been making the mistakes. Hasn't been putting his team in positions to lose these games. He's only been keeping them in it. So I think, Arizona, man, how crazy it would be to see the Wildcats possibly even make the college football playoff and look similar to their rivals in Arizona.
Be pretty wild. I'm not saying that. I'll go over the Big 12 odds, but for a guy who had a horrific season a year ago, Brent Brennan, with Noah Fafita, this looks like a bounce-back year where they're at least respectable. And to the point that was made by some people during the week that the Big 12 looks like it's going to have a really split structure with a lot of good teams up top and some bad teams on the bottom. There'll be a couple bad teams, but Arizona's not going to be one of those bad teams. Clemson and G-Tech, as you're listening to Throw the Flag here on ESPN Las Vegas, Clemson and G-Tech has kicked off. Georgia Tech had the ball at midfield. They just had to punt. Here's Scott Seidenberg from VSiN and 12:30 The Game, one of our stations, breaking down his handicap for Clemson and Georgia Tech.
This would be the game where Clemson does that, right? And this is what I mean by fading some recency bias here. Clemson could not be on worser terms with the betting public right now, right? The loss in week number 1, and then you have to come from behind against Troy, down 16-3 at the half to win that game. By the way, incredible live betting opportunities in that game. I must say, Brent Key is getting so much love here at Georgia Tech for how he performs as an underdog, as a head coach, how his team performs. We certainly know about Haynes King at quarterback. The line dropping fast, everyone betting on Georgia Tech. This feels like the spot where it's fade the sharp action. It's fade the overreaction. And it just feels like Antonio Williams not being healthy might have affected Clemson's offense last week and in their first week, when he missed most of the game. I do think that there's a bounce back here for Clemson. Georgia Tech looks really good analytically. Offense, 22nd in success rate, 19th in rush, 15th defensive EPA per play. Like, analytically, Georgia Tech's been a darling this year. It feels like it's getting way too much love right now. So if this, by any chance, drops below a field goal, I'm going to be on Clemson.
Well, I was incorrect. Georgia Tech did not punt. They're on the 25-yard line in Clemson territory, so about 4 minutes into the game in that one. Another big game that's starting off early, and I want to get to this in 2 minutes, is Wisconsin and Alabama. I'll actually take a break and get to it. But some keys on the Clemson-Georgia Tech game. I'm starting to question how good Cade Klubnik is, the quarterback for Clemson. He hasn't looked that great so far.
He hasn't. It's been a rough little start. You look at what happened in the first game to open up the year. It was, taking on LSU, which, a team that is possibly one of the best and could be contending for the title at the end of the year. And then you look at their game against Troy, and being down that 16-0 at halftime, 16-3 at halftime. They looked like all the hype we were getting all offseason. Dabo Sweeney hyping up how he finally embraced the transfer portal. He's finally brought in dogs. He's going to get Clemson back to those national title contending teams that they've been used to in previous years. But you know what? They came out in the second half against Troy. They did come back. They got the job done. Who knows? Maybe that's kind of like the wake-up call this offense needed, and especially Cade Klubnik, to get it all together, start getting on the same page. And then you look, honestly, with this Clemson team, what stands out to me the most is their defense. Their defense, and specifically their defensive line, because they have guys who have been with the program that are producing, and then also their transfers. Will Helt, 2 sacks already on the year. Edge DJ Parker with a sack. D-tackle Peter Woods, who is most likely going to be hearing his name called this upcoming NFL draft. 4th on the team with 13 tackles. That's a stout unit. And if your D-line can produce the way Clemson's D-line has been producing, I think that it will give their offense enough time to figure out what they're going to do, and then, look a lot better as we see through the rest of this game.
Early score updates and previews of Wisconsin and Alabama, and more of the morning games and 9 a.m. kickoffs, and we'll get you the latest on Oregon and Northwestern. It's ESPN Las Vegas on the road, Saturday morning show until 11 o'clock. Heavy on college football. Throw the flag.
Cofield and Company's Monday Night Football home is the front yard at Ellis Island Casino and Hotel. Join Willie Ramirez and me, Cofield, as we give away sweet prizes. Check out M&F. And now you can place your bets at the brand new Boomer Sportsbook. Monday, starting at 3 o'clock. Cofield and Company, live in the front yard at Ellis Island Casino and Hotel.
Thursday night, it's the Commanders at the Packers on Fox Sports Radio. And Sunday night, it's the Falcons at the Vikings on Raider Nation Radio, 9:20 a.m. Brought to you by the Richard Harris Law Firm. Just in case, call 444-4444.
Good morning.
Vegas is built on service.
Studio lights on, please.
3 shifts a day.
All right, let's do this.
As your morning begins.
It's showtime. We have a lot to talk about live on the program for the next 3 hours.
To do our part, News 3 Today delivers Las Vegas stories that shape your community.
Just in some breaking news on the economic front.
So, whether it's late breaking,
breaking news,
bumper to bumper,
avoid using flamingo,
or clearing skies,
no showers anticipated.
It's News 3 Today.
Joe Seafood, prime steak and stone crab. The legendary seafood restaurant of Miami Beach is right on the Strip to bring you a true dining destination. serving USDA prime steaks, quality seafood, and world-famous Florida stone crab claws defined by a standard of hospitality for over a century. Inside the forums at Caesars, Joe's offers guests an experience that is perfect for lunch, after-work cocktails, social gatherings, to late-night dining, from private, semi-private dining for both intimate and large party gatherings.
Fight fans, get ready. Baraka MMA and Extreme Fighting Championships are bringing the action to Las Vegas. Saturday, September 20th at the theater inside the Virgin Hotel. It's XFC 53. Experience a stacked MMA fight card featuring the nation's hottest rising stars. Featherweight world champion Juan the Spaniard Archuleta against UFC vet Jose Lobo Solitario Johnson. Tickets start at just $25 or go big with an exclusive VIP package including a meet and greet with UFC Hall of Famer Robbie Lawler. Tickets are on sale now at xfc.global.
This summer, you'll be loving how we're lending at America First Credit Union. Get new Visa credit cards with 0% intro APR for 6 months. Need a new ride? Get 90 days with no payments on new auto loans and 60 days no payments on RV and power sports loans. Our home equity loans start with an introductory 4.49% APR to refinance debt or take on the dream project. Start the summer fun now and your payments later. Apply today at americafirst.com or visit a branch. Subject to membership eligibility, terms, creditworthiness, and conditions. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity lender.
Chickies and Pete's brings the classic Philly tailgate to Sahara, Las Vegas. Catch every game and put your stomach to the test with the cheesesteak fly eating challenge. Tackle a 2-foot-long classic Philly cheesesteak and 2 pounds of world-famous crab fries in 45 minutes to earn champ status. Plus, free parking and valet make game day a breeze. Experience ESPN's #1 sports bar in North America. Chickies and Pete's, the ultimate destination for Philly fans. Book your reservations today at SaharaLasVegas.com.
Back to Steve Cofield and Griffin Kemp from the Golden Circle Sportsbook inside the TI.
Rolling on Treasure Island here on this Saturday. Remember, happy hour most of the day, 10 to 6 every day here at Treasure Island at Breeze Bar, Gillies, and the Golden Circle Sports Bar where we're set up. Some early score updates. Not a whole ton is coming in. I saw Nebraska got a field goal on the board. Some of the other games in terms of updates, we were mentioning that Georgia Tech was on the march against Clemson. That one is still scoreless with 9:45 left in the first. Memphis is on the board early, 7-0 against Troy. Kent out on Buffalo. That one is 7-0. Kent is leading Michigan. We haven't talked about the Michigan game yet, but laying 27, that's 7-0 against a plucky Central Michigan team. So other big game this morning, and there's a bunch of them. We'll be tracking Clemson and Georgia Tech. Alabama and Wisconsin. This one's pretty intriguing because Alabama didn't look good, obviously, in week 1. Didn't look stout. Didn't look like they put out max effort against Florida State. Then came back and beat the crap out of ULM 73-0. And Ty Simpson goes 17-17 in that one with 3 touchdowns. But what does that mean? Now you got a Wisconsin team, Griffin, that's playing pretty good defense coming in, but is playing with its backup quarterback, former San Diego State player Danny O'Neal.
Yeah, this Crimson Tide team, especially Kalen DeBoer and group, they all need to come out here and make a statement against an undefeated Wisconsin Badgers team. It's great that, they were able to get finally a victory on the season, which is weird. We're talking that way about a Alabama Crimson Tide football program. But, L.A. Monroe, 73-0, Ty Simpson, perfect performance. It doesn't mean anything, Steve, because this isn't the caliber of opponent we've come to expect Alabama to go in and thrash. We expect them to thrash teams that are nationally ranked. We expect them to thrash SEC-level talent. We'll see how they look against Wisconsin, but Kalen DeBoer, job security-wise, morale-wise on that team, they need to come out here and they need to punch Wisconsin in the mouth because this team started off the worst way possible when they got into this season.
Alabama had a punt. Wisconsin gets the ball or had the ball at midfield around the 40-yard line, and Danny O'Neal promptly throws an interception. So Alabama is now set up about its own 42-yard line. There's 2 guys on the receiver. You can't throw that ball. I liked O'Neal as a prospect in the Mountain West Conference. I thought he was solid, not spectacular. I guess he got a bag from Wisconsin. Funny enough, he goes there and he's not promised a starting job. He didn't get the starting job. Billy Edwards got the starting job, and Danny O'Neal showed kind of one of his weaknesses there, and that is not taking care of the ball. I think this one is going to be competitive if O'Neal takes care of it, because I wonder if Alabama can run the ball. I'll give you some numbers as the game goes along, but on the side of Wisconsin, there's some pressure on Luke Fickell because Wisconsin hasn't been Wisconsin the last couple of years as he tries to rebuild things. And coming into this one, it got down to 18, but this is the largest underdog spot for the Badgers since 2010. Oregon and Northwestern, just how powerful is Oregon? Just how bad is Okie State? We had the question on game day before that game, after a week where Mike Gundy of Oklahoma State had ripped on Oregon for spending too much money on its team and that they should play a different level of non-con, which talk about freaking admitting defeat before you even play the game, that Mike Gundy's not getting the support he used to get. And I threw out the question whether Dan Lanning would be nice or would go, all right, Gundy, okay, I heard you. I think you heard him because they crushed him 69-3. Now, were those style points for effect? I mean, in the end, Okie State should be able to stop another Division I offense, but they couldn't. I've been playing against Northwestern, although they covered last week. I kind of wonder what's going to happen here. And also, this is another good showcase as they go into Big Ten play for Dante Moore, who's been pretty spectacular for the Ducks, the UCLA transfer.
Yeah, 100%, Steve. I mean, just going back and looking at their matchup against Okie State and the war of words between the two coaches. Back in high school, Steve, I actually got the great opportunity to play against one of the more wealthy high school football programs in the country. And I can tell you right now, the head coach, not once.
Are we being careful and not naming it?
What?
Where did you go to school?
Well, why we got to give them a free plug? They got plenty of plugs. They don't need me for that.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Palo Verde High School right here in Las Vegas.
Playing Bishop Gorman.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, Bishop Gorman. There you go. Free plug. When you never go into a game, especially your head coach, you don't admit defeat like that. You don't try and get in front of the loss and say something and throw an excuse to save your own butt. It's just not a good look, and it's a bad look to your team. Your team's not going to come out there and fight for you if they already know that you've given up. What's the point of me going out there and risking my body, my eligibility for you? You don't even care. You don't want to go against the big old money bags.
You said I'm a cheap player, inexpensive player.
Mm-hmm.
You would have gotten better players than me if you could afford it. It was a bad move. It could mean an ugly season for Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State. A couple of score updates. Oklahoma on top of Temple now. They're out to an 8-0 lead. And that Michigan game is holding at 7-0. Scoreless between Wisconsin and Alabama. We mentioned that Oklahoma-Temple game. We had suggestions from some of our handicapping insiders that maybe a sandwich spot that'd be kind of dangerous. I saw one person saying, recommending a John Mateer under for rushing yards, so we'll be tracking that one at 42.5. The Michigan game is interesting because, and I didn't read up on this, and I apologize to the audience. I should be more prepared. I don't understand how Michigan gets to pick the games that Sharon Moore is suspended for. This is the first game of the 2-game suspension this year. Next year, he will serve another suspension, which I don't get. Frankly, not to be mean to the guy, and I'm not rooting for anyone to be fired, but if you're part of the penalty, why is he even coaching there anymore? And what sort of rules do we have where you can take your suspension and basically split it up and also go, you know what, for game one, an important game, I guess technically what was it, game two, Oklahoma, he's going to be there for that one. So we'll see how Biff Poggi or Poggi or who, he's the super rich guy, used to be at Coastal Carolina, how he does as the interim. Like I said, this one's kind of tight. We got Georgia and Miami coming up. That is a midday game. That's a 12:30 start. Right now, about 90% of the handle is on the Bulldogs. Here's 12:30 the game. Scott Seidenberg on Georgia and Miami with his play.
Lay the points with Georgia. I mean, they're just a rock. They're so good. And Tennessee also will be without both of their starting cornerbacks. So they both didn't play last week. That's against East Tennessee State. Like, no one cares when you play East Tennessee State. Now you're going up against Georgia, who's 19th in net EPA per play and has a stud at Gunnar Stockton, who the team, and this is something that not many people talk about when it comes to, new quarterback taking over. Something that you realize if you pay attention, this team last year maybe didn't exactly have Carson Beck's back at times. Like there were times where, some things would go wrong. He'd say some things in the media. The players would get questioned about it. And then it felt like they weren't really all in on Carson Beck. Gunnar Stockton has come in, and watching this team just on the outside and really just, starting to talk to some people that are close to the team, it feels like he's a leader. It feels like even though he came in as a freshman, a highly touted freshman, he gelled right away with this team, and it's like they're buying into this kid. So whenever I have a quarterback that the players love and the players respect, I always think that special things are going to happen. Georgia, I like Georgia in this spot a lot, actually.
I feel like the public play is South Florida against Miami after pulling the upset on Florida, so I kind of don't get this line. Where are you?
Can they do it 3 weeks in a row? I mean, this is unprecedented stuff, right? Maybe they're just that good. Maybe we didn't know. Maybe they're just that good. Or maybe this is, I don't want to call it smoke and mirrors, but, Florida didn't look good. Florida didn't convert in the red zone. South Florida has played well. I'm not going to take anything away from South Florida's performances here, but now a third consecutive week over a ranked team. Miami's the edge is clear on the front seven on defense and in their offensive line. So I have no interest in betting this game. This is a fascinating stay away and watch for me, but I don't think any result surprises me here. Like if South Florida covers, I'm like, then it kind of just shores up our early opinions. Like, hey, you know what? Maybe this team actually is pretty decent this year. We should watch out for them in that conference. And if Miami blows them out, well, it's just going to be like, well, yeah, there was a clear talent mismatch, and South Florida is the team that we all thought they were coming into the season. So I'm not going to take anything away from South Florida. I just have no interest in betting this game.
South Florida still getting 17.5. That was Scott Seidenberg from the Better Day podcast, and 12:30 the game and VSiN. We have a score in the Alabama game. We'll get to that on the way back. We'll also bring in Michael Felder, National College Football Insider. It's Throw the Flag on a Saturday morning, going until 11 o'clock. Lots of college football breakdown. Chuck Esposito will join us in hour number 2 from the STN app.
If you're experiencing a season of sports betting couch slouch, it's time to get off your app and get in the game. Rampart Casino is the place to be on game day. Team up with friends for game time food and drink specials, contests, giveaways, and more. Plus, we have some of the best odds in Summerlin. Catch all the action on Rampart's Race and Sportsbook Big Screen, or watch the casino big screen TVs while you play your favorite slots and table games. Get off your app and have a blast. For football, friends, and fun, Rampart's #1.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80%
All right, 111. Check.
I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game.
Check. We're on a break.
For
Check.
better bedroom performance, and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy.
We're just working on our audio. Audience, stick around.
Ditch the burgers and fries and go Greek.
If the audio feed is
Greek
on,
and Mediterranean Grill.
number
with 4
2,
valley-wide
just drop it
locations.
a couple tips.
Hungry for something new? Try our fresh, never frozen Mediterranean salmon.
Check.
Enjoy Greek lemon potato waffles served with our delicious tzatziki sauce. Cool off with our ice-cold, authentic Greek frappes. Discover your new favorites at Stefano's. Order online or off the app. That's Stefano'sLV.com. Stefano's, since 1998. Real food, real fast, real healthy.
Friendly Ford says yes to tailgate season. Over 800 vehicles to choose from. Yes to trucks starting at $28,500. Friendly's talking Mavericks, F-150s, Rangers, Super Duties, and more. Yes to 0% on select vehicles. Yes to top dollar for your trade, paid for or not. When others say no, Friendly Ford says yes. Decatur and US 95.
Friendly Ford, you get more.
I'm Gary Lawless, and game day just got bigger at Ellis Island Casino. This football season, score big with $45 all-you-can-drink packages, delicious food specials in the front yard, a new massive 52-foot screen at the casino bar, and the all-new Boomer Sportsbook. Sign up for your Boomer's mobile account and get up to $250 in bonus bets, plus minus 105 odds on all pro football spreads on every regular season game. Download the Boomers app, then visit Ellis Island Casino or Casino Valley Verde to activate your account. Must be 21. Terms and conditions apply. Bet responsibly.
Back to Steve Cofield and Griffin Kemp from the Golden Circle Sportsbook inside the TI.
ESPN Las Vegas here on this Saturday morning. You heard it. Golden Circle Sports Bar, 7-0 Alabama. 7-0 Alabama just took advantage of the interception thrown by Wisconsin's Danny O'Neal. Bernard goes in on a 2-yard run. So 7-0, 2:24 left in the first quarter with Bama and Wisconsin. And Clemson is down 3-0 as Georgia Tech has possessed the ball for much of the first quarter. 5 minutes left in the first. Georgia Tech is on top 3-0. We caught up with our college football national insider, Michael Felder, earlier this week, and we got into a lot of the afternoon games and also some themes that he's seen around the first couple of weeks of the college football season. And one of the things that is really irking him, what is going on with all the drops by receivers?
I don't know where this comes from, Cofield. I don't know how it's become like this. Like it's I'm not going to call it an epidemic because that feels like a pandemic because that makes it feel like we're lessening like the actual like things that are happening in like the world. But it is one of these things where it's a massive problem where even Jeremiah Smith, right? We thought he might be the number one wide receiver coming into the season from Ohio State. Drops. I feel like everybody drops. We're seeing them at Alabama. We're seeing them from Georgia. We're seeing them all over the country. And that's a thing that you're like, I was listening to Chris Carter talk about drops, and he was like, no, you don't drop the football. Like that's, if it touches your hands, that's yours.
We got a big one in the SEC. Michael Felder's with us. It's
Yes.
Substack.Felder. It's Felder.substack.com. And, of course, Hand in the Dirt podcast does stuff with Learfield.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tennessee so far has actually looked pretty good on offense. And I hate to say it, I watched Nico over the weekend against UNLV. And Joey Aguilar, the veteran, has looked better. This trade is actually working out really nicely for Tennessee, but nice enough to pull off the upset at home against Georgia.
They're at home, which is a positive. Joey Aguilar, I think he's got a little bit more dynamism is not the right word. I think he's just more willing to take a risk than Nico. Nico is slight. Nico does not want to get hit. Nico is not is afraid's not the right word, but Nico is very risk averse. And I think we saw that in the UNLV game, right? He's risk averse. It's not a bad thing for a quarterback to be risk averse. I think Joey Aguilar, though, he fits in with Gunnar Stockton. He fits in with even guys like I'm not comparing him to Lamar Jackson. What I am saying is that he's willing to kind of put his head down and make sure he makes the yard to get. And then when you see him, he's willing to stand in the pocket. And I saw that out of Max Johnson. I saw that out of Underwood at Michigan too, willing to just stick in there. And obviously Mateer is willing to do those same things at Oklahoma. And I think he fits more into that category than guys who are like, I want to protect myself. These are guys like my team needs to. And I think that's important. So I think they've got a chance. I really am interested. And I don't know if you know, I've never thought about like the space and speed from an actual yardage standpoint. Have you thought about it from a yardage? So if they put two guys and the one guy is out by the sideline, other guy's out by the sideline on both sides of the field, then another guy's at the bottom of the numbers. We're talking about 50 yards between two players. And you got to play that. Makes it real hard to play zone, so you're going to have to play man-to-man. You got to play man-to-man, and one of those guys is a tight end, so you have 11 personnel. Then all of a sudden you have a linebacker that's completely away from the box. So the box is just 5 guys, 4 defensive linemen and a linebacker, and then 5 linemen, a quarterback that can run, and a running back. And it's like, what are we supposed to do? Because it's 7-on-5. So I think that's going to be the most interesting part of this for me.
Tennessee going to win it?
No. They're not going to win.
You diagrammed what I think is probably your offensive play of the week that you've been seeing. High-low on the sneak tip, and it's 11 personnel and a tight end feigning blocking.
Yeah, the sneak is such a – we had when the first time I ever saw this play was a different variant of it, but we called it Syracuse when I was in college because we played Syracuse. They had Thump Belton. I don't remember who else was on the team, but what they did was have the tight end just basically dive out, lay on the ground for like 1 second, and then the linebacker is rid of it, and then he just sneaks out. And then it's a boot, and you just throw it to him. We're seeing that all happen now, and shout out to my boy. I know Ben Johnson. They came up a little bit. The Bears came up a little bit short, but the play that he ran last year with Jared Goff with the fake snap, and he grabbed it, got up, little sneak there, so throws it to Laporta. Like that's where this all comes from, and it started with Syracuse. And so I think that what we're seeing is this high-low where it's doubles, and you have doubles means two people on either side, right? So you have doubles, and I'm going to do it because most quarterbacks are right-handed, which, by the way, I think that is one of the I've been explaining to my daughter that being left-handed is a sort of discrimination in this country, in most countries. But it's doubles. So if we go doubles to the right side, doubles, there's two receivers, receiver, tight end, whatever it is, right? So one guy runs a hard slant, pushes you hard to there. Next guy runs a post. Okay, that's all on the right side. Quarterback runs play action to the left, reverses out, and then you get two guys coming back all the way across. Nobody can cover them. Nobody will cover them all the way across the field. Now you get high-low, and nobody can cover that. You can't cover that. You cannot cover it.
I do have to get to one more primetime premium big-time game, and that is Texas A&M and Notre Dame. I think this line is way too big. It's 6.5. I think Notre Dame can run the ball this year. They got to be more dedicated to it. I know they were.
They have to be dedicated. That's the problem.
Yeah, like you have these running backs. You got to run the freaking ball. Come on.
Love needs to get the ball. Why is he not getting the ball 25 times a game?
It's amazing to watch.
Why? Why is he not getting the ball 25 times? But I will say this: flip it over. A&M, they seem like they want it. So this is going to be. I'm excited for that football game for sure.
Who's the better quarterback in the game, Carr or Reed? Not a lot of evidence for Carr so far.
I'm going to say Reed.
Marcel Reed, Texas A&M against C.J. Carr and Notre Dame. That number is still 6.5. That was Michael Felder at In the Bleachers up on Twitter. Works for the Learfield Hand in the Dirt podcast. And best place to go, especially for hardcore breakdown of some of those offensive and defensive plays, is itsfelder.substack.com. Did you get some chills when he was diagramming that offensive play? By the way, Felder played defensive back at North Carolina, and Ben Johnson was on the team back then. Ben Johnson was a backup quarterback, so him giving credit to Ben Johnson for running certain plays and running them with the Lions. But defenses in college football are kind of always under duress. It's always a numbers game, Griffin, as they're trying to stretch out the D to the point where decisions have to be made, and if poor ones are made,
Absolutely. The offenses are really making sure that they keep defenses on their toes. Like Ben Johnson, you look at not this first game with the Chicago Bears. Don't look at that game. Look at all the games with Detroit the last couple seasons. Look at that offense. That's the kind of offensive prowess that every team, college or pro, is looking to put in their building. They need a guy who understands you got to have variety in your offense. You can't be stagnant. You can't come out there every single play and run a power run to the left as much as I would love it. You need to be versatile, and you need to be able to make these defenses lose confidence in, honestly, their own ability.
On the flip side, I love this conversation about drops. I mean, they really are just the bane of every OC's existence. If you run a play and it works and the quarterback delivers the ball, you cannot drop the ball. This sounds very obvious, but I'm telling you, it is devastating. It's so freaking hard to move the ball at times in college football and in the NFL. You can't have drops. So we'll see if across the board it gets better in college football. It's pretty good right now. It's getting better for Michigan against Central Michigan. 14-0, 45 seconds left in the first, and Bryce Underwood in a game where Michigan has an interim coach and has landed 27, 28 points. Bryce Underwood, the diaper dandy, as Dick Vitale would call him, 6 of 11, 97 yards throwing with a touchdown. Also has 50 yards on the ground, 28-yard run. So Michigan's up 14-0. Let's go back a little bit and get a little more of a breakdown here of Georgia and Tennessee. Again, that's a 12:30 start. Heavy betting on the Bulldogs. I don't want to lay 3.5, so we'll see where the number goes before kickoff. I like Gunnar Stockton, and that's where a lot of the questions lie. Is this a Georgia roster that is just fantastic, just looking for an above-average quarterback, but doesn't have a below-average quarterback? What do you think Stockton is?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. You see the few snaps that he got last season before becoming the number one guy for the Bulldogs. I think he and Joey Aguilar are very similar. I think they're both guys who you go into this season. So far, both of them 2-0. Competition, both teams have faced up to this point, maybe not the highest. But so it's almost a question of which quarterback is going to make this his game. Which quarterback is going to say, I'm ready to make a statement win. I'm ready for the entire nation to be put on notice. And
Who do you think it is? I think Aguilar is going to have a better game, but I think Georgia can win the game because they're a better team. I'm also worried about Tennessee. I'm not really worried. I don't like Tennessee. I would like to see them lose, so I'm not worried. I didn't bet the game yet. But they're also beat up on defense. 2 of their cornerbacks starters are out. A third starter is out for Tennessee. So I think Aguilar is going to look good. Stockton doesn't have to be Aguilar. Aguilar is a more accomplished thrower. He threw for a freaking ton of yards at JUCO stops and App State. Stockton's a little more of a dual threat guy. And one of the things that people have mentioned the most, Griffin, and you know this from playing the game, the quarterback is the CEO of the franchise. I don't want to use the term the quarterback has to be liked. The quarterback has to be followed. The quarterback has to be respected. He can be an ass, but if you respect him, then you probably got a good shot. And I think respect waned last year for Carson Beck. There's way too much me stuff and star of the program stuff. And I don't know, I'm not saying Georgia didn't fight for him, but from everything we hear, and I've heard it from multiple people, Gunnar Stockton is a little more of a match for the Georgia program. Now, that said, if he has a crap game today, the match ain't going to be working. So he's got to accomplish, he's got to achieve out there. But that, with Gunnar Stockton, I trust him in this spot. I trust him to be a dual threat. But I think I'm not saying it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think it's going to be a nice showcase for both quarterbacks.
I agree. I think, and I like your point too. You look at the Georgia roster, it's kind of hard not to, have at least a somewhat solid game as quarterback if you're playing for the Georgia Bulldogs. So much talent on that roster. You look at those two situations, these two guys, and you kind of say to yourself, hey, the pressure's a little bit more on Joey Aguilar because your team it's still SEC, they're still Tennessee, but I think the Georgia Bulldog roster is just a little better, a little bit more talented. So the pressure's on Joey Aguilar. Can you step up and kind of, break the distance between these two teams with your play? Can you keep the offense in sync? Can you play smart ball? Can you overcome, a little talent deficit? So I hope Joey Aguilar gets it done. It'd be a cool story to see him get it done and get these Tennessee Volunteers at 3-0. But I also believe that Gunnar Stockton probably wants his time at Georgia, his era, to start now.
When you were playing college football, did you emulate, did you idolize, did you try to follow the lead of a defensive end edge rusher in the NFL?
Yes, I did. I all the way back to high school and all through college. I always try to emulate J.J. Watt.
Okay.
Not on the mic.
Were there
just on the field?
Right. Yeah. Were there any distinguishing features about J.J. Watt? I don't know what his celebration was. What did you copy his celebration?
I was always hoping that my helmet would fall off and I'd break my nose a little bit so I could have a little bit of blood right there. And that way I could stand up, mean mug, and salute, nobody, because there's no cameras at this high school, particular high school football game. There was something about him. And, the reason I wanted to play like him is just because of his arm length. He had similar long arms like me. And I always saw that. And I thought if I could just, have that J.J. Watt spaz energy, I could possibly, get pretty far in this game.
The reason I mentioned emulate, I looked up, and I saw a highlight, Nebraska going in for a touchdown earlier in the first half. They're playing something called Houston Christian today, which I imagine they're laying a lot more than what they're scoring right now. They're laying 42.5. It's 17-0. I looked up, and I was like, why are they showing a Patrick Mahomes highlight celebration after a touchdown? I've never seen anything like this kid. It's amazing. And, people are cracking on him. Dylan Raiola is the guy I'm talking about, who kind of looks like Patrick Mahomes. But now he has taken it upon himself to, I guess, watch film and try to imitate Mahomes. I swear to God, when I looked up, I'm like, that's Mahomes. Now, not in terms of playing ability. He's a good prospect. but it's so weird. It's odd. Okay, we got some interesting stories going on in the 12:30 slot. We just talked about one of the 12:30 games coming up. We got a 1:30 game in South Florida, Miami. We'll hit on that one, but we hit on that Joey Aguilar, Gunnar Stockton matchup. By the way, can we just mention this one? You know that I'm a Nico Iamaleava fan. Trust me, I got to say it slow.
Nice.
And I'm a fan of him leaving Tennessee. If I'm at rock bottom in my radio career, I pray to God that rock bottom doesn't include doing radio in Tennessee. I don't want to be in Tennessee. I don't like Tennessee. So I think it's wonderful that he got the hell out of Knoxville, especially as a Poly kid, and he's in L.A. UCLA is not good right now. They're going eventually, if Deshaun Foster doesn't get it done, they're going to get a head coach. They're going to pay him top dollar. Nico will have 2 more years of eligibility. Hopefully he stays there. Tennessee is kind of celebratory right now, and I understand it. Fans are dummies, so they ultimately the second they have a chance to turn on the kids, they don't like the kids. We know that. They don't really root for them unless they're on your side, but they're all rooting against Nico. For Joey Aguilar's dad to come out and make a smart remark about, I guess we see who's winning the trade. Hey, Pops, dial it down, because your kid could be in the same exact position. It's not going to happen because I don't think he has any eligibility left, but the system benefits all people. Your son benefited from the system. I don't think we need to rub salt in the wound of Nico, Pops Aguilar.
No, I mean, it's a story of, misguidance from your father. I mean, Nico leaving Tennessee, going to UCLA, obviously when that news broke, a lot of shots were being taken at Nico. He was automatically.
These are, by the way, I'm just going to break it. This is now like pro football. And I know pro football fans get mad at free agency when kids leave, or when adults leave, right? Like if you're a Cowboys fan and you're mad at Micah Parsons, go ahead. I think you should be mad at the owner. I would be mad if Iamaleava turns out to be better than Aguilar, which I'm not sure that's going to happen. Right now, it is a good trade, but this is like your emotions of the past about kids' loyalty. There is no loyalty. The coaches aren't loyal. The kids aren't loyal. And I'll let you go on this. I want to take a break here. I'm sorry, but I don't like beating up on the kids. We got another Alabama score. We'll get you an update on specifically what it was. We're going to go across the scoreboard here, get you a lot of these early games. Griffin is here. It's Cofield. Come on down, get your breakfast, get your lunch on, dinner here at the Golden Circle Sports Bar. Breakfast items include breakfast sandwich, chicken chilaquiles, the chorizo con papas. You can go healthy. They have a parfait, right? I know I don't look at that stuff, but I am trying to be healthier. Maybe if I'm getting something, I should get the seasonal fresh fruit blend, which I'm sure is delicious. And I like fruit, so I'm very high on that. Come on down here today, tomorrow, Monday. A great spot to watch for football. It's the Golden Circle inside TI Vegas.
Attorney Matt Hoffman with Battleborn Injury Lawyers. When you're in a crash with a company vehicle, things get complicated fast. Multiple layers of insurance, workers' compensation issues. It can feel like a maze. That's why you need Battleborn. Our experienced team knows how to handle complex cases, and we'll find every layer of insurance and get you the compensation you deserve. Don't let the system overwhelm you. At Battleborn, we take on the toughest cases and win. Call me today at 766-1400. At Battleborn, your battle is our fight.
Gambler's bonus hits again. On August 2nd, Candace hit 4 queens, clearing her Gambler's bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo card for over $16,000. Candace hit big, and so can you. With Gambler's bonus, it's why you play the game.
Football is back, and we're celebrating touchdown deals here at Finley Chevrolet. Drive away in an Equinox EV with 0% APR for 60 months. Or how about tailgating with a new Silverado RST with up to $15,000 off. Score your dream car at Finley Chevrolet, the #1 volume Chevy dealer west of Texas. Finley Chevrolet, located at Rainbow and 215. Together, let's drive.
Plus finance through GM Financial. Not all customers qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 9/30/25.
Ditch the burgers and fries and go Greek. Stefano's Greek and Mediterranean Grill with 4 valley-wide locations. Hungry for something new? Try our fresh, never frozen Mediterranean salmon. Enjoy Greek lemon potato waffles served with our delicious tzatziki sauce. Cool off with our ice-cold, authentic Greek frappes. Discover your new favorites at Stefano's. Order online or off the app. That's Stefano'sLV.com. Stefano's, since 1998. Real food, real fast, real healthy.
Modelo is an official cerveza of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste, brewed with fighting spirit since 1925.
In Vegas, your car faces some tough enemies. Scorching sun, bugs, dirt, and road grime. It dulls and damages your paint. Fight back with ceramic protection from Bob Moses Ceramic Coating. Keep your ride looking sharp and vibrant for years with a brilliant glossy finish that really turns heads. Protect your cars, trucks, motorcycles, and RVs. Don't just take our word for it. Check out the 5-star reviews for Bob Moses Ceramic Coating. Then call 702-600-1128. Mention you heard this ad and get an exclusive VIP discount at Bob Moses Ceramic Coating.
I'm attorney Paul Powell. At my law firm, there's no fake courtrooms or fake anything. I go to real courtrooms and I get real results. Just in the past couple of years alone, I've had some of the biggest injury verdicts in the entire country. I've helped thousands of Las Vegans get paid after getting hurt. How much? Nearly $500 million in settlements. More than $130 million cases. No other Las Vegas lawyer can say that.
More lawyer, less fee.
Some restrictions apply.
Back to Steve Cofield and Griffin Kemp from the Golden Circle Sportsbook inside the TI.
I cut you off, Griffin, so I'll let you say your piece. I get very fired up over the Nico, Tennessee thing. I was just ranting about volunteer dislike of Nico and Team Nico and Joey Aguilar's dad trying to jump in. I'm going to get you some score updates first, though. Alabama now 14-0 on Wisconsin. Jeremy Bernard, I think I might have called him a running back earlier. Wide receiver, of course, from Vegas, from Liberty High School. He's got his second touchdown of the game. He had a rushing touchdown in the first quarter. He's got a receiving touchdown here as they're up 14-0. Michigan is now up 21-0 on Central Michigan. Bryce Underwood looking spectacular. Just had a 28-yard run to put Michigan up 21-0. But go ahead, finish up on Nico and the drama between UCLA and Tennessee and all that stuff.
Absolutely. These guys, it's like one of the more cringy kind of stereotypes. The father trying to live his college football dreams through his son, or being a little too controlling over his son's career. Joey Aguilar's dad coming out in the public. You're right, Steve. He did not have to say this. You're at Tennessee. You're taking away from your son and his team's start to this season, going 2-0. They have an opportunity to go 3-0. They're going against a tough Georgia team. The last thing anybody needs is bring back up the Nico conversation, bring back that whole saga of what happened during this offseason. And then obviously Nico's father kind of being seen as the guy giving him the guidance to leave Tennessee, go over to UCLA, possibly for the promise of more money. But all in all, a lot of people cringe at it, Steve, but I love it because I love the passion for football these men, even in their older age, they still have, and they love it to a point where they're willing to kind of put their noses a little bit into the careers of their sons.
G-Tech is up 10-0 now on Clemson. Klubnik to this point in the game, 5 of 8, 39 yards. I don't think Clemson is very good offensively, and I'm going to go back to being a broken record on this one. I personally think that Dabo Swinney hating the transfer portal is not helping his program. They had a very good season last year, but I just don't see them being as dynamic as they used to be. And without using the portal a lot, you really have to nail it on the recruiting front. And if you don't nail it, what's the portal for? I'm not saying you have to, turn over the roster like Colorado or UNLV's had to do, or, I don't know, go back hardcore a couple weeks ago, breaking down like Sam Houston State. That dude, Phil Longo, had to bring in 70 players. But you can go in and shore up your weaknesses. You know what your roster looks like, and Clemson is just not dynamic. They came in on the rush game 129th in the country. I think there's 136 teams, 129th in EPA per rush. They have one of the lowest explosive run rates in college football. I think the O-line has been an issue for years. They are not great on defense either at times. They're 76th in the country on stopping the run, 84th in pass success. And they're giving up a lot of first downs. So right now it's 10-0 Georgia Tech. I just wanted to find the total yardage in that one. It's 139-73, so not good, but not incredibly lopsided. In the last minute and 20, and we'll carry this over. This is a game of interest to us, and it's certainly a game of betting interest because the number's coming down. USC is going to Purdue. USC has played a couple of less than stellar teams. They have crushed them. Jade Mayava, the former UNLV quarterback, is lighting things up. He's got 707 yards and 6 touchdowns. Well, guess what? He gets to go against Barry Odom, his old coach from a couple of years ago, and Brad Odom, who's working on the staff, Barry's brother. I'm very intrigued to see what happens in this one. And I don't know for sure that, any sort of speech will be made about, go get our guy. I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm sure behind the scenes that the Odoms would, they want to be competitive. They would love to pull the upset. You want to talk about accelerating in what you are in the rebuild at Purdue. Taking out USC at home would be awesome. Also, using your inside knowledge about your former quarterback when you were in Vegas, Jade Mayava, that would be the cherry on the top. We'll break that game down on the way back. It's ESPN Las Vegas. It's Throw the Flag. We are live inside Treasure Island at the Golden Circle Sports Bar. Come on down with us.
Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas. Let me tell you how to get an interest-free trial loan with Dollar Loan Center. Did I get your attention? At Dollar Loan Center and don'tbebroke.com, not only is it always free to apply, but we also throw in a full week worth of free interest for every new customer. Really, even if you borrow $5,000, you can just repay the principal at the end of the week with absolutely no other costs. We can't make it any more transparent than that. Give us a shot and let us become your backup when things aren't going so well. Dollar Loan Center offers signature loans up to $5,000 in minutes with up to a year to pay it back. With locations in Pahrump, Mesquite, and Laughlin, or check us out and apply online at don'tbebroke.com.
When someone in our Las Vegas community gets hurt, I take it personally. I know what it feels like to fight for your family, to face medical bills, lost wages, and fear of the unknown. At Gina Carina and Associates, you're not just another case. You're a person with a story, and I'm here to help you write a better ending. We fight hard, we fight smart, and we never forget it's your life we have on our hands.
Gina Carina and Associates, changing lives daily.
Modelo is an official cerveza of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste, brewed with fighting spirit since 1925.
Hello, I'm Jesse Fonseca with Park Place Realty. I have been your local broker since 1990. Yes, that's 35 years. So if you're looking at selling or buying a home, I'd love to be your choice. Call or text for more information, 702-736-3000. I'm also a mortgage banker, so if no one will lend you, I'll lend you. I have a lot of money. Credit restoration, notary, and much more. Call for a free home evaluation, 736-3000.
License B143790. Geneva Financial 393995.
Friendly Ford says yes to tailgate season. Over 800 vehicles to choose from. Yes to trucks starting at $28,500. Friendly's talking Mavericks, F-150s, Rangers, Super Duties, and more. Yes to 0% on select vehicles. Yes to top dollar for your trade, paid for or not. When others say no, Friendly Ford says yes. Decatur and US 95.
Only see Ford credit plus $599. See Friendly for details.
Friendly Ford, you get more.
Gambler's Bonus hits again. On August 2nd, Candace hit 4 queens, clearing her Gambler's Bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo card for over $16,000. Candace hit big, and so can you. With Gambler's Bonus, it's why you play the game.
Miss a show? Check out lvsportsnetwork.com for everything ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN Las Vegas. Live from the Golden Circle Sportsbook inside the TI, this is Throw the Flag on ESPN Las Vegas.
The breakfast sandwich is coming. You don't have to get breakfast at the Golden Circle Sports Bar. They got the full menu available. Southpaw chicken tenders, my favorite. I do eat like a child. Golden Circle satisfies my under 14-year-old diet. But they are good. Very crispy. Fries are dynamite. Real good dipping sauce. We had a conversation, put out a video yesterday at Steve Cofield. We had a conversation with a college football insider, Michael Felder. I probably should text him to get an update on how things went. His daughter had a sleepover. We call Mark McMillan on ESPN Las Vegas Chef Mark, because Mark is very much the top-notch internet chef, and he's just built this whole business, and he was on Next Level Chef with Gordon Ramsay. We have multiple chefs on this show. Got to pay attention, man. Your food's coming. What's going on there, Jared? Don't worry about the dials and the knobs and our levels. Let's get into it. Anyway, Chef Michael Felder is tremendous. This sleepover, he was doing chicken fingers. I didn't get into the chicken fingers much with him, but he was also, his daughter was like, can I have 2 kinds of fries? I'm like, okay, this kid has been trained for Chef Michael to serve up the best. I think he served crinkle cut and regular fries. I know he was doing waffles this morning that he had made on Tuesday. I don't know if he made a special syrup. I know he made ice cream and homemade cookies so they could also have ice cream sandwiches, like along the lines of the Chip Witch. I was like, I told him during the interview, I was like, and I've only said this, and I love my dad, but I only said this one other time. I told Michael Felder, I'm like, I wish you were my dad. The only other guy I said that to was the patriarch of the Ball family. We had him on about 5 years ago, and I was like, man, I wish you were my dad. And you really do well for your sons. But I don't know why I went there. But anyway, chicken tenders. I was thinking about the sleepover and all that great food. But
shout out to the dads who are willing to make multiple different styles of French fries for their kids. Yo, man,
I think where I was going is the fries here are very dynamite. And I know where I was going. He said his daughter didn't want any dipping sauces with the chicken fingers, and we both stopped for a second. We're like, well, she might have a problem.
She might only deserve one style of French fry.
What is?
Yeah,
you got to train her up.
That's
one of the best parts of the tendy, of the dipping sauces. You want some score updates and no more chicken tender talk? We'll get you the early games here. Right now, Alabama is putting it on Wisconsin pretty good. This is not a good look for Luke Fickell, as Bama's up 14-0. As I mentioned, Las Vegas, Jeremy Bernard has 2 touchdowns for the Crimson Tide. Michigan's up 28-0 on Central Michigan. There was a lot of Central Michigan play, figuring that, hey, Michigan might have a little dip down. Interim coach. Maybe this coach is better than the existing coach, but Sharon Moore is out on a suspension stemming from all of Jim Harbaugh's cheating in the past. Michigan is outgaining CMU in the past game, 153-18. Even worse, total yards is 283-9. 283-9, and Bryce Underwood has been spectacular against this MAC team. Holy moly. Yeah, he's got a touchdown throwing. He's got 153 yards. He's got a touchdown running. He's got 70 yards on the ground. So impressive on that front. There's a lot of FCS games in action. I'll give you those scores in a little bit. But another game of much importance. Georgia Tech is taking care of Clemson. It's not a blowout. It's 10-0 with 8 minutes left in the half. And Oregon, 10-0. Not boat racing, Northwestern. Northwestern at home in their temporary stadium. Again, trails 10-0, and the yardage battle in that is not split too badly. We got 12:30 starts coming up in a few hours. We go until 11 o'clock here on ESPN Las Vegas. Throw the flag at the Golden Circle Sports Bar. Let's finish up breaking down the storylines of USC and UNLV. So it's Jade Maeva, the former Rebel quarterback, against Barry Odom, the former Rebel head coach. And there are other Rebels on that staff, former Rebel coaches, like Mike Shear, who was the DC here. So he certainly has some familiarity with Jade Maeva. There are 8 or 9 former Rebels on the Purdue roster. Many of them are on defense, like Tony Grimes and Charles Correa, a Bishop Gorman guy, and Manny Powell, a linebacker. They've got one offensive lineman who's getting a lot of playing time in Jalen St. John. I did not get to check the snap count of Hank Purvis, who I really liked as a prospect, who was like 6'4" and 370 pounds as a freshman. He's a freaking monster. He'll be a star guard in the Big Ten. But, there's familiarity on both sides. And for Purdue, they want to win the game, but certainly want to play competitively. They're out to a good start in that rebuild, and the number's down to 20.5. A lot of people want to take the Purdue side in this one, Griffin.
Yeah, but I would I kind of look at this matchup, and I seeing how Barry Odom kind of operated while he was here with the Rebels. You get the sense he's a man who takes a lot of pride in the way his ball team looks, especially when he's going to a new program in Purdue, and they're starting off the season 2-0. They are facing a USC team. The week before, they have to travel and go see nationally 8th ranked Notre Dame. So you would imagine that Barry Odom's probably going to want to make a great statement against USC. How great would it be to go into Notre Dame, facing into that matchup when you're coming off of a 3-0 start to your year? And if they were to get it done against USC, I think that's a great start for Barry Odom and his Purdue Boilermakers. And, he's got to keep it up because over here at UNLV, Dan Mullen, he's got these Rebels undefeated so far through the year.
Texas Tech wants to put on a show today. Spent a lot of money on this roster, right? Poor schools like Alabama and Oklahoma State
poverty
are complaining about the monies now. And I will mention this as many times on ESPN Las Vegas as I can. I told you so. And I'm the only one who said it when 5 years ago people were like, it's the same schools winning every year. Same programs. You're going to get all the players. No, they're not. And I mentioned NIL and the transfer portal are going to change things. And you're going to see places that have always had money. But because they weren't graced by the gods of college football, they couldn't cheat like the power program, the biggest names, the biggest brands. They couldn't push the edges. They're like, hey, we get caught spending money on players like the powers were, we're going to get penalized. And now you're seeing, because it's above board, places like Texas Tech, they're driving Alabama crazy because they have oil money. I'm not sure of all the Alabama money and where it comes from. I know the quality of the school at Alabama, not to take shots at SEC schools, but maybe they're not pumping out enough rich people. But A.J. McCarron said 2 weeks ago that Alabama's a little shorthanded with NIL because they only have $20 million to spend on their football team, which you're like, okay, $20 million is a lot. All right. So I don't want to hear the whining, but people know that Texas Tech across the board is spending $55 million in NIL on its athletic programs. So long story short, Texas Tech has a chance to be a power. They've gotten out to a good start. They're taking on Oregon State. Our buddy Justin Watkins, who's our legal insider on Cofield Company, went to Oregon State, and he was very bullish on this team being pretty good. They spent a lot of money on Malik Murphy, quarterback over from Duke. And, I mean, the guy's a God sent. I don't know why I keep making God references, but quarterback at 6'5" and like 235 pounds. He looks the part. They're just not that good this year, and they're getting 23.5 from Texas Tech. And here's the deal. I'll keep saying it, I guess, until I'm proven wrong, and there's like 5 crap teams at the bottom of the Big 12. I think the Big 12 is going to be incredibly balanced, and Oregon State's not in the Big 12, but this is a good non-con effort here. Oregon State's part of the Pac-2. Texas Tech is the second choice in the Big 12, Griffin. Utah's 1 at 4-1. Texas Tech's plus 425. Iowa State 550. ASU 7-1. TCU 8-1. Baylor 9-1. Kansas 14-1. And there's more good teams beyond that. I will be highly impressed if Texas Tech goes out and hangs like a 50 plus, a 50 burger, as the kids say. They said that like 10 years ago. I'm way behind. If they score 50 and just freaking destroy Oregon State today.
They kind of have to. Their expectations are like that week to week, especially with a Texas Tech squad. Like you said, when you have an NIL budget, when you've got the oil money, you better be bringing in some guys. You better be bringing in some dudes, and that's the expectation. When you have the ability, these athletic directors, these schools, they're going to expect winning from you. They're going to expect you to compete with the best in the country because you have the funds to. So if you can't, the pressure is just even more on these coaches. That's crazy because you can. There's so many changes in NIL, transfer portal. But if you have the funds to do, create a great contending roster, and you come out the gate, and you even lose 1 or 2 games in the first half of the season, the pressure is just unbelievable throughout the rest of the year. So you would hope that a Texas Tech team ranked 21 in the country, 21st in the country, could come out here and at least drop a 50 burger on an Oregon State team.
I was building them up that would be a positive. Now you're putting pressure on them to hang 50 plus. Arkansas and Ole Miss. This one's interesting because we'll check for the latest update on Simmons, the quarterback for Ole Miss. But his backup took more of the reps during the week. Simmons was a game-time decision. I'm not really sure that he's an elite quarterback yet. Young guy, sophomore, has been explosive at times, but has also made mistakes. And, people are hearing the rumors. They know the information. Ole Miss is now 5, down from 7.5 against Arkansas. And this is one of those games where, Sam Pittman really is coaching for his job. He does need to have a really good season. And Arkansas has, again, I'll make money references. We know they have tons of money. They went out and got John Calipari. John Calipari has basically an open checkbook to go out and use his NIL. And Arkansas believes that it should be amongst the elite in the SEC. This is the kind of game and a spot where against Lane Kiffin with a quarterback who's dinged up, I think Sam Pittman should do some work here. It's a road spot, but this would be a nice win.
It would be a very nice win. Ole Miss, I think regardless of quarterback, Lane Kiffin, he knows how to get an offense built and set up in a way where his quarterback will be able to produce. I think Ole Miss comes out and especially a high-profile guy in Lane Kiffin, if Arkansas can come in, keep this game tight, or maybe even pull off this victory over Ole Miss, that's so good for that program that desperately needs to get out of the basement of the SEC and actually come to the forefront.
What do you think of these injury reports that most of the major conferences, the schools are now required to put out multiple injury updates, including game day, but I think most places now require at least some initial notice on Thursday, and Lane Kiffin has not put Austin Simmons on the injury report. I haven't seen the one from today, but latest reports are Ole Miss is expected to start back up Trinidad Chambliss against Arkansas. I'm not even sure what conferences can do. Who do you find? The athletic department? You find the coach? Because it's a very tricky game to require, and we know why they're doing this. They did it in the NFL, starting 40 or 45 years ago because of gambling. They would never admit that, but it is a big part of it. What can they actually do to Lane Kiffin? He's like, I'm not putting him on. What are you going to make me?
Should he get the Jim Harbaugh treatment? Let's
I don't think we have to.
Let's not suspend Let's not suspend Lane Kiffin. Let's suspend his quarterback's coach. Let's suspend his O-line coach. You get one position coach gets suspended. Yeah, exactly. Or I mean, what? Come in, take some of our NIL funds. This is the chaotic world the NCAA has created for us today. It just is what it is. What is the order? Where's the balance? Who's the judge, jury, and executioner? Who knows?
72% of the tickets are on LSU in that Florida matchup. LSU is now going down, though. This is always funny when the tickets and the money are on the side of one spot and then the numbers going the other way. But Florida is now catching 7 and even in that one. I think this will be a tight game. LSU is very good, and the home environment there is tough. That is a 7:30 start, so the other Death Valley, I guess LSU fans would be like, it's the Death Valley. We'll be rocking and rolling in Baton Rouge. Close game, or you love Brian Kelly? I know you. Or do you?
I do.
I don't know if I have an accurate read on you watching that Netflix SEC show where Brian Kelly was front and center, and he's an interesting character. I'll say that.
He's very interesting. You look at his career at Notre Dame. He is one of the best coaches in college football. I'll say that. A lot of people like to get on him for, kind of his personality, the way he acts in press conferences, the way he bangs on tables when he loses to USC unexpectedly. But his squad, this looks like the best squad, and honestly is the best squad he's had since he came over to LSU. You got a Heisman, honestly, at this point, he'd be my vote, Heisman favorite in quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. The defense, all the transfers that Kelly has brought in, looks like they are paying dividends, and his quarterback is showing out. His quarterback, though, Garrett Nussmeier, I would say not necessarily in this game because I don't really see Florida keeping this one tight. I think LSU is going to put a thumping on them. It's a bad look right now for the Florida Gators, but I still want to see Garrett Nussmeier come out here, and I want him to really, loosen up a little bit. Let's get that offense going. Let's stretch the field. Let's throw it to our high caliber receivers down the field. Let's get this guy set up and ready to be possibly in New York at the end of the year, much like we saw Boise State try to do with their Heisman hopeful Ashton Jency last season.
Score updates. 14-7 now, Memphis and Troy. If you're asking, hey, why are you updating that game? Well, Troy was really dominating in the first half against Clemson last week. It's a dangerous team. Memphis is very dangerous. Memphis is certainly of Vegas interest, not only betting, laying 4 here, up 14-7 with 7.5 in the second quarter, but also a possible CFP entrant to get that one bid for the group of 6. Oklahoma, 25-0 on Temple. They're laying 24 in that one, 7 minutes left in the half. Michigan's 28-0, 2-minute timeout or warning, whatever they call it in college football, 28-0 on Central Michigan. Georgia Tech is now up 13-0 on Clemson, whose offense looks lifeless. That's at the 2-minute warning. Alabama has now pushed it out to 21-0. They were laying 18 in this one. The number came down. It was well above. I know it was over 3 touchdowns. 18 is what it went off at. Alabama is up 21-0. Auburn, 3 minutes left in the first against South Alabama. Auburn's laying 24.5. Remember last week, South Alabama really took Clemson to the edge before losing. I think that was a 43-41 count in overtime. And Oregon's up 10-0 on Northwestern. Now, when you put up 69 in a game, everyone is there looking for style points every single week. I'm not getting on Oregon for only scoring 10. First of all, they're pitching a shutout, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Oregon, their defense is built around Matayo Uiagalelei, who you aren't down at Big Ten Media Day. He was there at Mandalay Bay. You are a big guy. You played at how much? What weight?
I'd say at my peak, I was probably about 275.
Okay. Were you like a good 275, or did you feel good at 275?
Felt fast.
Did you?
I was speedy at 275.
So Griffin started out at Utah and then played at Cal Poly, 6'5", and what are you now? 238?
Yeah, around there, yeah.
Okay. This kid, I would like to see you size him up because he is 6'5", 272, and it is like a 272 that looks like he's 218. Like he's big, but he carries it like it's nothing. He is going to be a first-round pick in the NFL draft, and I pointed out because he's a star player on the defense. I think people usually associate the Ducks with offense. Their defense is very good.
Under Dan Lanning is not Chip Kelly. Dan Lanning is a physical coach, and I feel like I've seen that from Oregon since he's arrived with the Ducks. And yes, Steve, you know, there's a difference between 6'5", 270. There's 2 different types. If me and him were able to, these players were able to stand up, and I was able to stand next to the players today, 6'5", 270, you would tell there's a big difference. One of us would look very muscular. One of us would look like we have good structure and base. The other one looks like a Gumby character. You remember Gumby?
I do remember Gumby very well.
Yes.
I don't think I would. Let's relax. I don't think you look like Gumby, but that's good self-deprecation. By the way, the other reason I mention it, rando facts about Uiagalelei's. Matayo's dad is Dave, known in recruiting circles as Uncle Dave. Uncle Dave is the guy who sort of swayed the Maiava family to move Jane Maiava for a payday, first to Georgia, then he flipped 2 days later to USC. I'm not saying anything bad about him. That's the game now. But I will tell you to go back on that. I forgot to mention this factoid about UNLV and Purdue. Again, I don't think Barry Odom is having motivational speeches before the game and like laying out all these details like this kid burned us and UNLV, we got it. Yeah, he's not doing that. But I will tell you to tie together Uncle Dave, the Odoms, and Jane Maiava. That next season after Maiava had left, Uncle Dave was at a UNLV game at Allegiant Stadium, and I remember him trying to come down on the field with a pass because a lot of kids they have recruiting visits. A lot of the handlers' family come down on the field, and they're like, "No, sorry, Uncle Dave, we're a little miffed at you right now with the way that went down." So, kind of tying it together that today's game has with USC and Purdue has some storylines. So
bold, so bold.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Hey, right now we're not happy with you, and I guess we'll risk. This Uncle Dave claims that he does have a stable of poly families and poly kids that he's sort of serving as an agent for. I don't know what kind of cut he gets. If he gets any sort of cut, I know he was the guy who was kind of brokering the deal for Maiava. And again, I'm not, as a guy who covers the Vegas market, guy who covers UNLV, I wasn't mad at Jade Maiava. This is college football. And in the end, was Haj Malik Williams better than Jaden Mayava? He's probably not better, but he was better for that team.
I'd agree with
and
that.
And
100%.
UNLV made out pretty well.
I'd say so.
And by the way, if the Odom family's mad, the Odoms made out pretty well because Barry Odom got a bump to $6 million. I think a $30 million buyout for 6 years. Mayava's getting good cash. He is playing really well at USC. I go on and on. Let's get some more scores in. We'll get to the details on that last score for Alabama. It's 21-0 now at the half as Kalen DeBoer looks like a happy guy during the halftime interview. Coming up, though, Throw the Flag covers everything. Whatever's going on in Vegas and around the country on these sports weekends on ESPN Las Vegas. We got to cover the big boxing match as Canelo has a major fight against Bud Crawford. It's a major fight for Bud Crawford. We're expecting, 35,000, 40,000, or hoping for 60,000 over at Allegiant. So we'll have a boxing breakdown by the betting numbers here on Throw the Flag at the Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island on ESPN Las Vegas.
Football Central is back on its 25th year. Spend Sunday at the Westgate Superbook with ESPN Las Vegas. We'll have great prizes and great food, drink and beer specials, plus reduced juice at -108. Huge 4K screens to see it all go down. This and every Sunday at the Westgate Las Vegas.
Thursday night, it's the Commanders at the Packers on Fox Sports Radio. And Sunday night, it's the Falcons at the Vikings on Raider Nation Radio, 9:20 a.m. Brought to you by the Richard Harris Law Firm. Just in case, call 444-4444.
It's that time of year, Las Vegas, and you need some extra money. That's where we come in. Welcome to Dollar Loan Center. Dollar Loan Center offers signature loans up to $5,000 in minutes, and you don't need great credit or collateral. No checking account required, no application fees, and no prepayment penalty. It's easy to qualify, and you only pay interest for the time you have the loan out. Our rates are way less than the competition, and we guarantee to beat them. Get cash at one of our convenient locations or enjoy instant funding when you apply online at don'tbebroke.com. The first week's interest is even on us to all new customers for giving DLC a shot. Now in Mesquite, Pahrump, and Laughlin. Give us a call or check us out and apply online at don'tbebroke.com. Plumbers, HVAC,
Good job, Jess.
contractors, and DIYers.
Good job, audience. Stick with us. We're live.
To power your next project. Open early and stocked with everything you
So we
need.
didn't get to
Stop by South
Seidenberg,
Decatur near
LSU,
Russell.
Notre Dame.
McFadden Industrial Hardware. Fast, easy, and
Might
built
skip
for the
that one.
pros.
Out there in the West, mess around.
Crawford.
At Cotton Ford, right off 215 in Rainbow, they've got the ride that's built to haul, crawl,
All right, we might
and
push this to
roll.
like
The
29.
F-150, America's #1 truck with power
Stick
you
with
can
us, audience.
feel.
We're coming
Wanna
back.
rumble off-road?
Fight breakdown.
Get behind the wheel of the rugged Bronco, built for grit and guts.
But
Right
Griffin's
now,
off the
get
set.
0%
He's having a
APR
breakfast
for 60
sandwich.
months
By the
on
way,
select models, and leases
looks
starting from
unbelievable.
$349.
Unbelievable.
Plus, trade in your Toyota or Chevy and get a $500
I don't know if
gift
that's
card.
over easy or
Cotton
over
Ford,
hard. We're going to find
family-owned
out.
and
These are
run in the
important
West
things.
since 1922.
October 10th, it's JA's Bottles for BizTown and Fashion for Finance Park at the Junior Achievement Inspiration Center. Wine, beer, and spirits tastings, live entertainment, games, a silent auction, and an exclusive fashion presentation with Sandra Fall Couture. Get tickets now at jasnv.org. That's jasnv.org.
Attorney Matt Hoffman with Battleborn Injury Lawyers. When you're injured, you don't just need a lawyer. You need a partner who understands what you're going through. At Battleborn, our attorneys don't just handle your case. We walk beside you every step of the way. We meet with you personally from day one. We actually answer your calls, and we keep you informed. Don't settle for a law firm that ignores your calls and makes you feel like a burden. Choose Battleborn Injury Lawyers. Call 766-1400 for a free consultation. That's 766-1400. At Battleborn, your battle is our fight.
Back to Steve Cofield and Griffin Kemp from the Golden Circle Sportsbook inside the TI.
Eggs and a breakfast sandwich. I'm usually a wuss, and I go without the yolk, and I get a scrambled egg. Griffin, I can't really tell. Was that over easy or over hard?
I don't even think I got a selection of what my egg was.
Oh, you
going
just
to
got
be.
a fried egg.
I trust the TI. I didn't even have to.
Wow.
I know they're going
Okay.
to serve me up right. But also, I have to ask you, what's wrong with you?
I know.
No yolk? You
I
don't
know.
like a yolk on your breakfast sandwich?
I don't mind it. You know what I like the yolk on? Because it makes it just extremely. I watch way too much. I don't even know if it's the applicable word, but I just like using these words from all these food TV shows. The Loco Moco here, or really anywhere in town, they've got 2 Loco Mocos here. God, I've got this menu memorized. They've got a Cajun Moco. This is the Golden Circle Sports Bar on a Saturday morning with ESPN Las Vegas. When you bust the egg open with the yolk into a Loco Moco, the unctuousness.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's applicable or not. Unctuous. Big word.
Can we
for
get
$200? We're gonna look it up. Or do I don't think at that point it has a lot of umami flavor.
Oh,
I forgot. I also forgot that Jared, who's running the show here, is part of the Cofield Company chef rankings. I haven't had a lot of his bread, but he is one of only 2 bakers that I know, because Chef Michael Felder is actually a baker. Can you make chocolate chip cookies? Can you make your own ice cream? But his I got an eyebrow raise on the umami. Really not having anything to do with the mention of bread. Okay, so while I'm talking food and I'm talking about your breakfast sandwich and the Southpaw tenders that Jared got here at TI, I don't think Canelo ate a lot at all this last week. Willie Ramirez said he looked great. I thought he looked a little drawn. I thought Bud Crawford looked tremendous. And obviously he's a smaller fighter. They both weighed in for this fight tonight over at Allegiant at 167.5 pounds. I'm sure Canelo is going to be fine. I don't know if you saw the ceremonial weigh-in. He was doing some sort of dance, and the first thing I thought of was Kickboxer the movie with and the dancing that went on in that movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, which was just short of Elaine from Seinfeld and is just short of me dancing. But that's what Canelo looked like. I don't know what he was doing, but it was just this kind of herky-jerky thing. There's been a storyline that maybe Canelo has tried to put on too much of a show and been too comfortable. Now, I don't know what that means. I mean, maybe being comfortable is a great thing, and this is like one of the great bets ever because he believes he's going to smash Crawford, and he will smash Crawford. Or is this one of the first times, maybe since Floyd, where he's like, "Ooh, okay, I got like a real opponent in front of me"?
Well, I mean, even after Floyd, I mean, Benavidez, you ask Canelo how his feelings about that particular fighter. I think he was up there doing a little dance, trying to do one of those, I am ready for this. I am ready for this. I am not nervous. I am shaking these nerves off. They will not touch me.
I have really good rhythm too.
Oh yeah. He's this is a fight, Steve, that is getting a lot of hype. It's the most hyped up boxing event I can remember since Floyd and Manny Pacquiao did decide to get into the ring together, later in their careers. This is a fight that I hope really meets the hype that it's being given. I really do. I hope boxing can really put on an event that's truly special. I mean, you're going to be airing it on Netflix. You're going to be taking place in Allegiant Stadium. Dana White is involved. And 2 of the biggest names in the sport are coming together to see who is truly the number one. It is going to be an event, if on paper, could be great. But if we go based off of what we saw in the press conference for these 2 earlier this week, you see Max Kellerman of ESPN kind of running the press conference. He's up there on mic, kind of talking about setting the scene, and he really is trying to hype up Dana White being part of this promotion. And he's talking about how the UFC is the NFL of combat sports, and how Dana White is coming over to boxing to give boxing an NFL type institution. And my favorite part was that Canelo had to step up, grab the mic, and remind Max Kellerman, hey, you got hired to not talk about how bad of a spot boxing's in right now. You brought over here to hype up this fight. Oh yeah,
he scolded him a little bit.
I wouldn't say it was scolding, but it was definitely like a hey Max, remember where you're at. Remember what sport this is. Yeah, that's cool. That's Dana, but this isn't a UFC fight.
Right.
You better be hype up boxing, hype up the event.
And here's the thing. Boxing puffing out his chest for this fight is really cool, and they made a big fight. But TKO is the new owner of UFC and WWE and is going to get involved in boxing. It's going to need Turki Al-Sheikh, the Saudi, to be involved in every one of these fights. I don't know what their long-term agreement is. Now, Canelo is going to make north of $100 million. Turki Al-Sheikh, he puffed out his chest because someone said $100 million. He's like, oh, he's making more than that. And I'm sure Bud Crawford, this is the fight of a lifetime because he has made money, but not enough money for the kind of fighter he is. If I knew that the Saudi money was behind this, as uncomfortable as I am with it at times, if I knew the money was behind this for the long term, then that's one thing. But I think a lot of boxers like Canelo were like, hey, I watch the way UFC does business. This doesn't necessarily mean that the boxers are going to be making a lot of money. It'll be more organized. There'll be more fights. They will try to crush the competition, which, you know what, for the next 5 or 6 years will probably be a really good thing for boxers, because in crushing the competition, they're going to have to pay, big purses, and they're going to have to make fights. After that, once they've crushed the competition, then we'll see. What do you want to do with this fight? It's Canelo minus 160. I hope it goes a little lower. I'm not over the top confident that Canelo is going to win the fight, but at a certain price, I will jump in on this, and I will not play Crawford at plus 140. And that's what it is right now at SDN. And by the way, reminder, Chuck Esposito is going to join us in about less than 10 minutes. But minus 160, Canelo.
I think I'm going to lean Canelo. Crawford has had a decorated career. I just think the competition Canelo has faced in his has been a little higher. We've seen Canelo in big fights. We've seen him perform. We've also seen Canelo, obviously, against Floyd, against Benavidez. We have seen fighters get the best of Canelo. I don't think this fight will be one of those, though. I think Canelo will come out and he will try and retain that title of the face of the sport of boxing. And, since I have the great privilege of sitting here with somebody who was so deep in the combat sports realm, covering MMA for Yahoo Sports, one Steve Cofield.
Thanks.
I gotta ask your opinion with this fight and with all what's on stake and Dana White involved and everything else. What is the outcome if we get another Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, a very lukewarm type fight?
I think time will heal. You spin it. One, what happens in the fight? What's the result? Is it the best thing is a rock'em sock'em 12-round fight, really hard decision, demands a rematch. The second best result is close fight, and this could happen. It's not really the best result, but it could kind of go the way you're saying, which is it could be sort of a tap fest, because neither guy is 800 punches a fight guy. So it could be a slower fight, and it could be a really hard decision, and then we get a second fight. Here's the thing. With rematches, with spin, like I said, time heals. People could be really pissed off if it's just a kind of a lackluster fight tonight, and then they'll hype it up. There'll be a recovery. They'll fight, 9 months from now, and they'll make a boatload of money. We'll see. I'm not going in. I'm just going to warn the audience right now. I think this is absolutely worth watching. Well, first of all, no pay-per-view. Oh, my God. It's on Netflix. I think most people have that. So you're paying your monthly subscription. I'm not going to do a commercial for Netflix. But I would not go in expecting, like I said, 750 shots thrown on both sides, cuts all over the place, rock'em sock'em. It ain't going to be Hagler Hearns. That was one of the greatest rounds in the history of boxing. It won't even be, I think a lot of people are hoping it's Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler, where Hagler was the natural middleweight, and it was a brilliant fight plan by Sugar Ray Leonard. He went in, played some good defense, pecked and pawed, and then with 30 seconds left in every round, he was like, all of a sudden action, and that was the last impression left in the judge's mind. And Hagler was so pissed off about the fight that he walked after that. I don't think it's going to be that sort of fight, but I hope. I'm not trying to rain on the parade. I'm realistic about boxing matches, and a lot of times MMA matches, where we get the human blanket approach, where guys want control, they just wrestle someone to the ground and try to score points. We'll continue on the fight in a couple minutes. Up next, Chuck Esposito on the football day, as he'll preview the afternoon games in college football, and we'll get a lot of NFL numbers from the head of the book here at Treasure Island, the SDN. We are live, Golden Circle Sports Bar on ESPN Las Vegas.
Thursday night, it's the Commanders at the Packers on Fox Sports Radio. And Sunday night, it's the Falcons at the Vikings on Raider Nation Radio, 920 a.m.
Injured in a crash? Call Sam and Ash at 702-303-0333.
Gambler's bonus hits again. On August 2nd, Candace hit 4 queens, clearing her Gambler's bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo
All right, Jess,
card
we'll go to this
over
quick.
$16,000. Candace, so can you. With Gambler's bonus, it's why you play the game.
I'm Gary Lawless, and game day just got bigger at Ellis Island Casino. This football season, score big with $45 all-you-can-drink packages, delicious food specials in the front yard, a new massive 52-foot screen at the casino bar, and the all-new Boomer Sportsbook. Sign up for your Boomer's mobile account and get up to $250 in bonus bets, plus minus 105 odds on all pro football spreads on every regular season game. Download the Boomers app, then visit Ellis Island Casino or Casino Valley Verde to activate your account. Must be 21. Terms and conditions apply. Bet responsibly.
Time to level up with the all-new Terribles Plus Rewards app. Why would you settle for one of those ordinary rewards programs? Terribles Plus rewards you on every routine purchase at the pump and in-store. But we also offer promotions like Game Day Giveaway, Terribles Tuesday, and Shop, Spin, and Win. So download the all-new Terribles Plus Rewards app and get your routine purchases rewarded deliberately different. Terribles Plus Rewards is available on Google Play and the iPhone App Store. Visit Terribles.com for details.
Great cities are built on strong foundations. The skilled members of Laborers Local 872 never stop building. From the asphalt on our roads, the concrete in our buildings, the solar fields powering the economy, and everything in between to work safely. Laborers Local 872 is modernizing the Nevada workforce and building a global city. The future is Union Strong.
Zip Zap Auto has expanded into one of the largest independent auto repair shops in the valley. With 23 bays, over 12,000 square feet, Zip Zap is your one-stop shop, offering 24-hour smog test, oil changes, detailing, bodywork, engine, and transmission rebuilding. And Zip Zap provides free towing and diagnostics with qualifying repairs. No appointment necessary, 24-hour service. Zip Zap Auto at Cheyenne and North Durango Drive and online at zipzapauto.com.
I'm Dave Schmolenson.
And I'm Helen Yee.
We want to invite you to tune into the Schmo Zone every Tuesday at 2 p.m. on ESPN Las Vegas.
We'll take you behind the curtain in the world of sports as a dynamic duo.
You can expect exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and sports figures.
And wild stories from our travel experiences covering Vegas sports and beyond. So make sure to tune in to the Schmo Zone,
where the air is thin, the sports get heavy, every Tuesday, 2 p.m. on ESPN Las Vegas.
Back to Steve Cofield and Griffin Kemp from the Golden Circle Sportsbook inside the TI.
ESPN Las Vegas at the TI. 21-0 Alabama on top of Wisconsin. This is really a story of ball control in this one. Wisconsin's only run 20 plays through the first half, and it's ball control using the pass because Bama ain't running it. They've only got 20 yards on the ground, but Ty Simpson, that's a pretty good game plus. He was 17 of 17 last week against ULM. He's 13 of 14 today, so he's 30 of 31. I guess he doesn't suck, and they shouldn't give up on him.
And
2 touchdowns for Ty Simpson.
I got to just mention, too, we got a couple of comments on our live right now saying Ty Simpson for Heisman.
You never know. Heisman betting should be, I mean, it's, you don't. I mean, he could, who knows? He could excel, and Alabama could make the playoffs, and he might have the best numbers in the country. That's why you always need to be in that Heisman market. I was mentioning during the week that I jumped on Arch Manning because he had dipped to 18-1. Here at Treasure Island, 10A to 6B every day, 10A to 6B. They've got a happy hour with $5 draft beers here at the Golden Circle Sports Bar, also Gillies and the Breeze Bar. So the STN book is here at Treasure Island. And, of course, Station Casinos all over the valley. And Chuck Esposito is the boss of all of the books. And we caught up with him to get some tips on what's going on behind the counter with the NFL, but also on college football. And we've got that Florida LSU game coming up in the middle of the afternoon here, Pacific time. And I asked Chuck to give us some tidbits on this game between the Gators and the Tigers.
Florida 5-1 against the number of their last 6 games. They've gone under 6 of their last 6 games. LSU 5-0 straight up on their last 5. When these two teams get together, though, 6 of the last 7 have gone under. Interesting stat here with LSU at home. 17-1 straight up in their last 18 games at home.
Chuck Esposito, STN, is with us. And I don't know why he didn't give me a heads up on this. I'm driving by one of the billboards for a Station Casino, and I see $3 beers, $3 shots. What the hell's going on, Chuck? I need the inside dope on this. You guys rolled this out. This is great.
Yep, we want you to enjoy it when you come out to all of our race and sports books. You're right. It's $3 beers, $3 shots, $1.99 margaritas. Just a fun time. We're showing the big fight in most of our sports books over the weekend as well. So it's a lot of fun stuff going on. But these drink specials are tremendous. Just wanted to give something back to our guests. Let them have some fun during football season, hanging out in all of our racing sports books industry-wide.
So if I come by with one of my many winning tickets at stations and you're there, and I'm like, you know what, Chuck, we're going to get a shot. Jameson, Crown Royal, Jack Daniel's, Jim Beam, Hennessy, or Patron. What are you choosing?
I'm choosing the shot of Crown, although I wouldn't be doing it while I'm working. But, I would toast you just in spirit, but it would be a shot of Crown.
I'd wait until you got off shift. How about that? We'll make it work.
All right. In that case, I'd love it. Sounds great.
Yeah. $3 beers, $3 shots, and the $4 on the imports and the seltzers. Okay, NFL, we got a lot to get to. Chuck Esposito from STN is with us as we go behind the counter. Give me your read on the Niners going all the way down to 3 against the Saints, and it looks like Purdy is going to be out for a while, so I guess we'll see what happens in this one, but clearly numbers, or at least the bettors, have adjusted the number.
Yeah, I'm not, sold at all on the Saints. I mean, I think this is going to be a bet against team all year. But you look at the Niners, no Kittle, no Purdy. Jennings is still banged up a bit. It's going to be a lot, I'm guessing, of Christian McCaffrey in this game. I don't care how low the number gets. We're still going to be Saint fans when this game kicks off, guys.
Browns and Ravens. I'm really a dog player, ultimately. I don't know if I want to go into the dog pound. I guess they're on the road, though, against the Ravens. Apparently the Ravens are honoring Art Modell. I don't know what kind of emotions are going to be on each side in that one. How good are the Ravens? Can the Browns and that defense stay in it?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's a bad spot for the Browns, especially with the Ravens coming off that loss. They had I think a 99 or 98.9% chance to win that game on Sunday night, which they found a way to lose. The game actually opened up at 13. There has been some sharp money that came in on the Browns. I still think as we get closer and closer to kickoff on Sunday, you're going to see Raven money show. I know it's a big number, just don't know if the Browns can hang or not, especially against an angry Raven team. But as I said, sharp money has come in on the Browns so far in this one, guys.
What are you guys getting on the Broncos and the Colts? Because this one's sat at Broncos -2, but I think it's moved now.
It has moved down somewhat. There is late word that the Colts might be without both starting corners in this game. So you've seen maybe a little bit of action start to come back a little bit on Denver. I didn't think Bo Nix played great week 1. Seemed to really struggle in that offense after all the offseason hype. I thought Danny Dimes was great. I mean, he's got some great receivers on that team. You've got a good offensive line. Jonathan Taylor behind you. I thought it was one of the better games I've seen Daniel Jones play over the last couple of years. Kind of hard to say who we're going to need in this one right now, guys. Ticket count does favor the Broncos slightly, but early action has clearly been on the Colts at home. But keep an eye on those DBs for the Colts, see if they play or not by kickoff on Sunday.
I can't wait to see what the betting split's going to look like for the Eagles and the Chiefs. Where do you have the number right now? And what side do you favor in this one? Obviously, we've got a rematch of the Super Bowl.
Both teams seem to have a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover week 1, Steve. I mean, the Eagles did win, but it's a game where you could have easily seen the Cowboys winning, if not for the late fumble and just some drops by CeeDee Lamb. The Chiefs haven't been great. I mean, they're going to be without Rice. They're going to be without Worthy in this game. Oh, there's a small chance Worthy can play. It's a Chiefs team that doesn't win with offense anymore. It sounds strange with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but they win with defense. They're a dog in this game. I think it's going to stay this way. I don't see a scenario that flips the favorite. Philly's 10-4 in their last 14 against the number. Total has gone over in 4 of the Chiefs' last 5 times when they played Philly, but they're getting 1 point here, and Kansas City is now 13-0 straight up in their last 13 games at home at Arrowhead. So, hey, if you like the Chiefs, you have to like the fact that they're getting a point here and maybe more by kickoff on late Sunday afternoon.
ESPN Las Vegas at the Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island. It is an STN book here, and we've got Chuck Esposito on the phone with us. Chuck, I see the big banner. You had a couple of folks out here signing people up for the STN app. I want you to talk about to the Vegas audience about the $50 no-worry wager.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, the app really brings the sports book to you. We love it when all the guests, either to one of our off-strip properties or to TI, wants to come out and hang out and enjoy everything we have to offer. But the $50, it's up to a $50 no worry wager. So you make a bet for $50. If you win that game, awesome, way to go. But if you lose that game, we're going to put $50 right back in your account, so you have $50 more to play with. It's a great little bonus right now, especially with football season, baseball kind of postseason getting close to happening, and we're actually not that far away from tip-off or puck drop. So it's always a lot of fun stuff, especially as we get more into the holiday season and you have a honey-to-do list going on. That sportsbook, that STN sportsbook, is in the palm of your hand.
Give me your impression of Aaron Rodgers, also the Steelers' defense, and what that means in this -3 situation at home against the Seahawks.
Well, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to say, don't panic. It's okay. Don't panic. It's just 1 week. But I was a little surprised with the Steelers defense. I mean, I think they knew exactly what they were going to face in Justin Fields. So I was a little bit surprised. You get kind of that payback game a little bit here, too, as DK Metcalf gets to play against the team that traded him, the Seattle Seahawks. But I think the Steelers will be better at home. Maybe a little bit of a tough road trip for Seattle to fly across country. But a little surprised at how poorly the Pittsburgh defense played against Fields, especially knowing what he brings to the table and having them there all last year. And I'm sure a lot of these guys practiced against him all season and saw what a good runner and a good scrambler he was. But I did think he threw a little bit better than I've seen in the past. So it wasn't his fault they had that fumble on the kickoff return. It's probably a game the Jets should have won, but they did find a way to lose last week.
Bears and Lions, it doesn't look like bettors have lost their confidence in the Lions, even though the first game against the Packers, they didn't look great offensively. You guys have 6 or 6.5 in this one.
It's actually got pushed up to 6.5, Steve, and that was some sharp money that pushed us up here. I'm a little surprised, too, and I think you look at the Bears, and they're still working a lot of things out. They've got some injuries, especially on the defensive line right now. It looks like Johnson, their all-pro corner, will be back. I thought they let one get away from them. It was a bad call on that penalty when they would have had a 1st and goal up 17-6 that they may have had a chance to go up 24-6. But I'm a little concerned with this Lions team. I think you lose both coordinators. You look at Jared Goff now, and he is now 0-19-1 without either Sean McVay as his head coach or Ben Johnson as his OC. So that offense didn't seem to play great against the Packers. But after seeing the Packers last night, that defense is awfully good. Maybe it was a product of more of the Packers defense than the Lions offense. But intriguing matchup with Ben Johnson going against the Lions. I expect a little bit of a bounce back from the Lions here, though, yet they still are a 6.5-point favorite.
I got about 30 seconds left. I'm seeing, at least on my cash and ticket split board, I'm seeing heavy action on the Cowboys, and yet the numbers move down to 5.5. So what's happening with the Giants in Dallas?
Yeah, we have seen some action on the Cowboys. I think, that was the game they easily could have won. They have a little bit more time to prepare here. That Giant offensive line, though, if they're missing some of those big pieces like Andrew Thomas, I think it's going to be awfully tough. They didn't run good with Tracy and Scadaboo in week 1. I don't think Russell Wilson played great. I know the Giant fan base and media is clamoring for Jackson Dart to get in there. I think it's kind of a big game for both teams. I think if Russell Wilson continues to struggle for a few weeks, you may see a quarterback change there. But I still think we're going to need the Giants by the time they kick on Sunday morning, guys.
There is Chuck Esposito from STN. Right now they've got a sign-up bonus, a $50 no-worry wager with STN. Sign up for their app at any of the station casinos around town, or come on down here to the Golden Circle inside Treasure Island. Parking is free right up on the strip, and you can sign up here. They've got some agents who are helping out, sign people up. So we've got a bunch of people hanging out here for college football. We're going to get to the NFL on the way back. Update on one of the bigger games of the morning, as a couple of them. G-Tech 13-7 at the half against Clemson, and Alabama starting to pour it on against Wisconsin. Wisconsin finally got on the board. Alabama came right out and scored in the second half. That one is 28-7. You're listening to Throw the Flag on ESPN Las Vegas. We are a full go on football betting, and the best way to do it is to sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. With the William Hill Nevada mobile sports app, you'll never miss another bet. William Hill has the largest wagering menu, and the app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you are injured, knowing
Step into the arena with Greg Salerno every Wednesday at 2 on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN Las Vegas.
Football Central at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino is the place to catch all of the action. Join ESPN Las Vegas every Sunday morning.
Fans, get ready. Baraka MMA and Extreme Fighting Championships are bringing the action to Las Vegas. Saturday, September 20th at the theater inside the Virgin Hotel. It's XFC 53. Experience a stacked MMA fight card featuring the nation's hottest rising stars. Featherweight world champion Juan the Spaniard Archuleta against UFC vet Jose Lobo Solitario Johnson. Tickets start at just $25 or go big with an exclusive VIP package including a meet and greet with UFC Hall of Famer Robbie Lawler. Tickets are on sale now at xfc.global.
Hey, it's Chris Fox. Yep, your morning radio guy, and I want to be your trusted Las Vegas realtor. I've called Las Vegas my home for over 34 years, and I know it like the back of my hand. And I've helped a lot of Las Vegans just like you. So whether you're buying, selling, investing, or you have a property that needs a lot of TLC, I can help. Just call me, 702-419-4346. 702-419-4346. I want to be your trusted Las Vegas realtor, and I'm ready to go to work for you. Simply Vegas Real Estate. Broker number 1000960.
In Vegas, your car faces some tough enemies. Scorching sun, bugs, dirt, and road grime. It dulls and damages your paint. Fight back with ceramic protection from Bob Moses Ceramic Coating. Keep your ride looking sharp and vibrant for years with a brilliant glossy finish that really turns heads. Protect your cars, trucks, motorcycles, and RVs. Don't just take our word for it. Check out the 5-star reviews for Bob Moses Ceramic Coating. Then call 702-600-1128. Mention you heard this ad and get an exclusive VIP discount at Bob Moses Ceramic Coating.
Friendly Ford says yes to tailgate season. Over 800 vehicles to choose from. Yes to trucks starting at $28,500. Friendly's talking Mavericks, F-150s, Rangers, Super Duties, and more. Yes to 0% on select vehicles. Yes to top dollar for your trade, paid for or not. When others say no, Friendly Ford says yes. Decatur and US 95.
Only see through Ford credit plus $599. See Friendly for details.
Friendly Ford, get more.
Back to Steve Cofield and Griffin Kemp from the Golden Circle Sportsbook inside the TI.
So a score fest early on, back-to-back scores for Wisconsin and Alabama to start off the second half. It's now 28-7, 14:25 left in the third quarter. Bama is on top in that one. Other score updates before we close out with a couple of tidbits and picks in the National Football League. Memphis at the half. That's a big game on the Group of 6 level. 21-7 on Troy. They were laying 4. Oklahoma 28-3, laying 24 against Temple. That's halftime. Oregon went to the half, 17-0 at the half, laying 24.5 in Evanston, not Chicago, Evanston. I was at the old stadium. I haven't been to the new one. The old stadium was a real dump. I was actually shocked. No, I was actually shocked that Northwestern was still playing in a stadium like that. I mean, it was like Sam Boyd laughed at whatever that was called, Welsh Ryan or something. I think that's a basketball arena. But they needed a new stadium, and they're doing something really intriguing. They're building a 35,000-seat football stadium for $825 million. It'll be something we'll have to get into more down the road. Maybe if we're doing the show next year when it actually opens up. Other games, I don't know. Sidetrack there. Michigan 35-3 just into the second half against Central Michigan. Still half as they're coming out here. G-Tech and Clemson. Yellow Jackets are up 13-7, and Auburn's on top of South Alabama. That one is now 21-3, 8 minutes left in the second quarter. All right, NFL. We got a couple minutes here, like 2. Do you have a favorite play in the National Football League? Did you steal one of ours, Griffin, from Cofield Company? Anything you like?
I think if I had to make a play, I think you really shouldn't be placing bets on the team that has your heart.
Oh, no.
That's how you get broken real quick. But I don't learn, and I'm going to, because I think you look at the Bears versus the Lions. Look at the press conferences this week, Steve. Ben Johnson is not happy with the media coming at him the way that they do head coaches. He's got to get used to that. You look over on the Lions side, you got defensive coordinators in the press conferences really fed up with the Ben Johnson narrative. They're tired of hearing about it. They're tired of hearing how they got shown out and they got shown up at week 1 because of the fact they don't have a Ben Johnson offense anymore. I think the blood is bad between these two teams. I think both of them are 0-1. They want to get a win on the books. Each of them have a very personal reason why they want to get this victory. I think Ben Johnson being with the Lions the amount of time he was, he knows this team. He knows with this defense, he knows with this offense, how they're built. He's going to, if nothing else, if he can't get Caleb Williams on page with the offense, he's going to rely on the fact that he has the insider trade knowledge. He knows how the team is built. He's going to attack their weaknesses at every point. And I think the Lions at the same time, they want to prove that they can still put up points without Ben Johnson. So I like the over in this one, and I also like the Bears +6.
ESPN Las Vegas, throw the flag. We wrap up the final minute of the show here. Come on down all day long. Sundays are also great with the STN book in place. They get a $50 no-worry wager as a bonus for signing up for the STN app. These guys had their breakfast, got thumbs up on the Southpaw chicken tenders and also the breakfast sandwich. We're here on Football Fridays as well. ESPN Las Vegas, 2 days of shows. I'll give out 2 super square picks down the stretch. I guess for a square. I am going to stick with the Dolphins. So I'm going to lay the 1.5 against the Patriots. And I'm actually going to go Steelers -3 against the Seahawks. Thanks to, first and foremost, TI Vegas for having us down here, Mr. Ruffin. Thanks to Jess back on the board. For Jared and Griffin, great job. Also, thanks to the guests, Scott Seidenberg, Chuck Esposito, and Michael Felder. And a reminder, football. Tomorrow, I'm over at the Westgate, 8 a.m. with the Sunday Football Preview Show right here on ESPN Las Vegas. We'll see you. Good luck today.